It's not on? It's not loud enough. Donnie says. Good morning. I am excited to bring you this message this morning, our message for you and for me. The name of your message is called The Problem Solver. There was a little bit of grumbling, but you all were delivered. Here's what I want you to do. Some of us have the weight on us. Some of you may have a little problem. Some of you may have a big problem. Girls, I need you to listen and fill out your card before we do it. It's really important. Okay? You both have a card? You need to do this right now. So when you walked in here, you had a problem. We all do. We're going to take about 1 minute, and I want you to write down what the biggest problem in your life is. You can do more than one if you want. A problem, whatever that is, write it down on the card. No one else will see this. Okay? Your problem, your burden. We all need to write something down. You can write down more than one if you wish. I'm going to give you about a minute to do this, and we're going to write it down. Keep it to yourself. Could be somebody, could be something. We're about halfway done. So. Fifteen seconds. Okay, and you can continue if you haven't got it done. Samantha, did you check this with the earpiece? Okay. And let's go ahead and put up the first one there. Samantha's a little bit under the weather, and did you see how she pulled out the video? Unbelievable. That's because Bill took the video off the program and put it on the screen this morning, and she saved us again. All right. We all have our problems. Okay? We're writing down. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take an Old Testament story some of you are probably familiar with. And we're going to take that and 3 Bible verses, and we're going to combine them together this morning to see how God solves problems. Okay? So, what I want to do is, I'll give you a little bit of update of what we're going to do. We're going to be in the book of Ezra. All right? And I was supposed to get my little pointer out here, and there's all kinds of things under here, so I won't get my pointer out of here, but what's important that we're about to read, I'm going to read it's pretty lengthy, but we'll get through it. But we're looking at the Euphrates River here, which is very important in this kingdom. All right? We also want to take a look at Ecbatana. That's in our story this morning. Here's Babylon. Okay? There's Jerusalem. Now this path that we're talking about this morning is actually this path. It's the first remnant coming back. Okay? Remember, Nebuchadnezzar conquered them. He took them out, dragged them off for 70 years. The 70 years is up. It's actually year 71. And they're going to be coming back from here all the way back. And they arrive back in Jerusalem. When we get to the story this morning, here's the setup. Cyrus is a Persian king, the Medes and the Persians. He has overthrown the Babylonians. All right? And his territory runs from here way over to here. There's 123 provinces in this kingdom. It is by far, it is the only power in the world at this time. Cyrus has said this: you can go back and rebuild the temple. Okay? This is the first wave. Ezra, who writes this story, we think, isn't on this trip. All right? But he tells us this story. Now, how does this connect to your problems? You're about to see. That's the setup I want you to see. River, Ecbatana, Jerusalem. And now, if you would allow me, I think we'll stay seated today. It's quite lengthy, but I'll do the best I can. I want you to hear the Old Testament story, and then we're going to combine it with your problem, whatever is on here, okay? We're going to combine them today. Bear with me. Okay, let me see if I can do this, Samantha. Whoa. All right. We're in the book of Ezra, chapter 5. We're going from verse 3 all the way 6 through 12. Chapter 6, verse 12. At the same time, Tatiana, the governor of the province beyond the river, and Shethar-Bozniah and their associates came to them and spoke to them thus. Okay, so the bad guys, the governor of this other area, the river, have come over to Jerusalem. This is what they're asking. The refugees have come back to Jerusalem. And imagine what that would be like. If today we got captured in here and we got drug off, most of us would never live long enough to come back here 70 years from now. I know I wouldn't. But we would tell our children about these places. We would tell them about Jerusalem. Those people have come back now. That's where the scene is right now. There's other people there, basically the Sumerians, who make life really hard. Because if Al and I had farms beside each other 70 years ago, we go back, somebody else says they're his. They're back at home, but they're still foreigners actually in Jerusalem. We think we have problems today. Hopefully, you all wrote something down. That's a big problem in your life. These Israelites had several problems, and that's why we're here this morning. Listen to what the governor, Tatiana, says to them. Who gave you a decree to build this house and to finish this structure? They also ask them this. What are the names of the men who are building this building? Can you imagine if we were there working? And all of a sudden, here comes an entourage. We're nothing but dirty peasants, basically. And here comes the governor and his friends and this whole entourage, and they show up. And they say, who gave you permission to do this? Oh, by the way, let's have your names. But the eye, verse 5, listen carefully. But the eye of their God was on the elders of the Jews. And they did not stop them until the report should reach Darius, that's the king, and then an answer be returned by letter concerning it. Darius and Cyrus are one. This is a copy of the letter that Tatiana, the governor of the province beyond the river, and Sheth-Bozniah and his associates, the governors who were in the province beyond the river, sent to Darius the king. They sent him a report to which was written as follows. I was wrong. Darius and Cyrus aren't one and the same. I can't even remember your names, let alone here. To Darius the king, all peace. Now this is what the governor sent all the way back to Susa, which was way to the right. Be it known to the king that we went to the province of Judah, to the house of the great God. It is being built with huge stones, and timber is laid in the walls. The reason they mention this is fortresses were built with very large stones and timber. This isn't just a dwelling. This is a magnificent, big building, which would send fear to their enemies. And timber is laid in the walls. This work goes on diligently and prospers in their hands. Then we asked those elders and spoke to them thus. who gave you a decree to build this house and to finish this structure? We also ask their names for your information, that we may write down the names of their leaders. And this was their reply to us. We are the servants of the God of heaven and earth, and we are building the house that was built many years ago, which a great king of Israel built and finished. But because our fathers had angered the God of heaven, he gave them into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, the Chaldean, who destroyed this house and carried away the people to Babylonia. However, in the first year of Cyrus, king of Babylon, you see why first year of Cyrus, the king of Babylon, Cyrus the king made a decree that this house of God should be rebuilt. And the gold and silver vessels of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple that was in Jerusalem,